Evidence.
I understand the bylaws, but this is excessive. You can't fine me for the color of my petunias.
The covenant clearly states all foliage must be approved.
The paper hit first. A wet slap in the dark. I stepped into the cold air with my mug, smelled asphalt from last night's seal coat, and saw my Cul De Sac mailbox wrapped like a mummy. 63 plastic sleeves crinkled under the porch light. Each page screamed violation in bold. Grass too long by 1 inch. Trash can visible for 6 minutes. Fence slat shade of tan not approved. It was 6:10 a.m. on May 3, 2024, and coffee steam felt like a small shield. Then patrol lights flashed down the block because someone reported a suspicious person at my own mailbox. I raised my hands. The officer looked at the stack, looked at me, and sighed. "That's new," he said. He told me to take photos and file a complaint. He laughed. The pages stayed. Here's the part that lit the fuse. HOA posted 63 pages on my Cul De Sac mailbox, then I filed the escrow file. That's the fight. Our board president, Karen with the clipboard and a stare like a speed laser, decided I was the example. She wanted control. I wanted peace. Her letters came at 9:00 p.m., stamped with urgent red. Her fines added up to $150, plus a late fee of $25 because the portal was down. She cited Section 8, subsection C, but it was cut off at the bottom. I read my CC&RS at the kitchen table while the pages rustled like dry leaves. I could hear a sprinkler hissing next door. I could hear my own pulse. I tried to talk like a normal neighbor. I emailed the board at 7:31 a.m. and asked for a quick call. I walked to Karen's porch with a peace smile. She opened the door 2 inches and said, "Submit in writing." I'm in a meeting. The meeting was her cat staring at me. I went to the next board session and saw folks I like sit with their shoulders up around their ears, eyes down. When I spoke, 3 heads shook no so soft it looked like a breeze did it. The minutes later said, "Homeowner disruptive." I wasn't. I was tired. This is the timeline line I put in my notes. Timeline item 1 April 5 at 4:27 a.m. false trespass call. Because, yes, she had called the police on me for walking my dog and said I was casing garages. It felt unreal. Patterns of false reports can be prosecuted. I drew my line in the sand. I promised myself no yelling, no pettiness. Only proper channels. I called the city code desk. I asked about mailbox posting rules and permit records. I learned our HOA cannot post private notices on a public mailbox. Simple. I opened a dispute letter for the fines and sent it certified. I also asked my bank to set up a dues escrow, which is legal here when fees are contested. I told the HOA in plain words, funds will be held in escrow until the dispute is resolved. You'll get every dollar the moment the matter is settled. Then I got busy. I lined up photos, emails, and call logs in a binder. I added dates. Bank notice. Certified mail slips. Screenshot of the portal error at 9:58 p.m. I filed a public records request on their landscaping contracts and a mailbox maintenance permit. 2 weeks later, the file landed with 63 pages. Someone had signed off on a mailbox wrap ad last year without a permit, and they paid an unlicensed cousin $11,000 from common funds. I stuck that right behind the divider tab that said receipts. My trap was simple and clean. I asked for a hearing, open to members. They scheduled it for a Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. I brought cookies and sat in front with my binder. Karen wore a blazer the color of wet concrete. She smirked like she'd already won. She started with her slideshow, my fence, my grass, my dog, a grainy photo of me lugging a trash can on May 3 at 6:14 a.m. Then I stood. I kept my voice low. First, I said, here's the city email that says you can't post private notices on the public mailbox. Here's the video of that morning. That officer's badge number is on the screen. Here are the certified letters. Here is the bank confirming the escrow account ending in 174. All dues held, not refused. Then I clicked to a slide called Public Records. I showed the payment history. I showed the cousin's invoice with no license number. I showed the permit denial for the mailbox wrap ad. The room murmured. That's when the city inspector I invited, after calling ahead and asking the right way, stepped in the back. She nodded when I asked if the mailbox posting was improper. She pinned a yellow notice on the board's projector cart. Stop work on all unpermitted alterations, effective tonight. Phones came out. A neighbor whispered, "This is wild." Another said, "Bro" came with footnotes. Someone filmed Karen's face as the inspector read a line about fines up to $2,000 for repeat posting violations. Comments started popping up in the community chat. Not the hero we deserve, but the one we needed. Meanwhile, I kept it boring and legal. I flipped the binder and read my last page. It was the part about escrow. Funds are safe. This isn't a refusal to pay. It's accountability. Then I laid down the timeline again. Timeline item 1 April 5th at 4:27 a.m. false trespass call. Timeline item 2 May 3rd at 6:10 a.m. mass posting. Timeline item 3 May 15th at 3:42 p.m. city confirms mailbox is public domain. The room laughed at the precision. It felt good and silly and fair all at once. The authority flip came fast. The police liaison, who came because of the hearing notice, cleared his throat and said the false trespass call had been reviewed. He said the word pattern. He said a warning letter would go out. The inspector issued a citation to the board, not the whole neighborhood, and set a re-inspection date of June 12 at 10:00 a.m. The board's lawyer on Zoom coughed and recommended immediate mediation. The treasurer, who always looked trapped, raised her hand and said they would vote to rescind my fines tonight. Someone clapped. Karen stared at the yellow notice like it was written in fire. I didn't gloat. I just handed the chair a copy of the escrow letter one more time. Lawful. Simple. Done. Afterward, the block felt lighter. The mailbox stood clear and clean, no plastic sleeves, no glue, a fresh coat of approved white by Saturday at 8:30 a.m. Kids chalked smiley faces on the sidewalk. I put a small bench by my porch and waved more. The board announced a special meeting. Karen resigned for personal reasons. The HOA repaid the common fund in 2 checks, one for $4,000, one for $7,000, and posted the receipts online. We got a new complaint form with clear dates, and a promise to post notices only on the private bulletin board by the pool. Peace came back like birds after a storm. I'm still paying dues through escrow until the city clears the citation, and that's fine. The rules are for everyone, and that's the point. Please follow for more HOA showdowns like this. Do you think she got what she deserves? Comment below.